Good morning. My name is Jack Yoest. I'm an adjunct professor of business here at the Northern Virginia Community College. We're in the new lecture auditorium here on the Alexandria campus at the Bisdorf building in Alexandria, Virginia. I want to welcome you to this seminar on the 1-minute manager meets the monkey. This is going to be a 60-minute presentation. We'll be divided into 3 segments. Interrupt me anytime for questions. I must control events, or events will control me. John Adams, when he was representing the United States interest in France in the late 1700s, understood that he had to control events or he would be controlled by events. I must control events. He understood that as a manager and did so well at controlling events or positively influencing their outcome that he became the second president of the United States. How does he control events? To do that, we're going to start by having a conversation that we must control the content and the timing of what we do, either for a manager or for an individual contributor, a staffer. We have to control what we do and when we do it. And in doing that, we're going to ask and answer 3 questions. We're going to start by talking about what makes managers so different, because managers are different. We're going to talk about how does management really work. The third question we're going to look at is how do I get promoted? Now, the purpose of getting promoted is to get the greatest return on your time and your talent, so that if you're an individual contributor or a staffer, I want you to get the most return on your time. If you're a manager, I want you to so manage your staff that you will get promoted. Now, the end result of getting promoted is that you make more money. Now, the goal in life is not to make more money, but it is a nice scorecard, and it's a nice thing to have to pay for braces and mortgages. We're going to draw heavily on the intellectual property of a couple of folks. The first is a gentleman named Bill Onken, William Onken Jr. His son, William Onken III, is one of my business partners. He came up with a management philosophy, a practice of management that he calls managing management time. He developed managing management time back in 1945 during the Second World War. He was a physicist, and he was learning how to manage logistics in the middle of a war, where failure means people die. In most cases, if we fail in business, the results are a little less drastic. He went on in 1972 rather, to write an article for Harvard Business Review, HBR's Harvard Business Review, and this has become the second most popularly requested reprint in the history of Harvard Business Review. The name of the article was "Who's Got the Monkey?" In 1984, Bill Onken wrote his book, Managing Management Time, and then in 1989, he teamed up with a gentleman named Ken Blanchard, with Bill Onken and Hal Burroughs, and they wrote a book, The 1-Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. Now, Ken Blanchard is a guru in the science of management out on the West Coast, and he's written a whole series of books called about the 1-minute manager. It's designed for busy managers and for people with short attention spans. He teamed up with Bill Onken, and they talk about the 1-minute manager meeting the monkey, about who has the monkey. Now, before we begin the entertainment section of this lecture, let's define some terms. What is a monkey? Now, we notice this monkey is on this guy's shoulder right there. A monkey is the next move. Next move. It's an assignment. It's a burden. It rests on your shoulder. A monkey requires care and feeding. A monkey must be taken care of. And a monkey has 2 people to watch over the monkey. One to actually carry out the assignment, because the monkey is the next move and the assignment. And it requires somebody to supervise the person who does the doing. So every monkey requires 2 people, one to supervise and one to do the work, one to actually do the doing. And you'll notice that the monkey is always on one person's shoulders. This poor guy right here, he's got the monkey on his back. So when you hear the phrase, the monkey's on my back, you had a monkey on your back, that's where this originates from. The intellectual property of Bill Onken. Now, the monkey story is a short vignette that happens every day in every cubicle farm across the fruited plain, across the planet. let's say that I'm the manager. Where's Mr. Willis? Mr. Willis here today? There he is. Okay, Mr. Willis. I'm walking out towards the parking lot. I'm the manager. And out from the cubicle jumps Mr. Willis, and Mr. Willis yells out, "Boss, we've got a problem." Now, right there, I know that there's something wrong because Mr. Willis, they're speaking in the second person plural, the royal we. I didn't have a problem. We don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem until he jumped out of the cubicle. He jumps out of the cubicle and said, "Boss, we got a problem. I've identified the problem, but the type XY castings are not going to be delivered to the customer on time. I don't know what to do." And so he starts regurgitating this problem. He's got this terrific that needs attention. So I whip out an envelope, I whip out a pen, and I'm taking notes. Oh yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Mr. Willis, this is important. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Requires some thought, some research. I got to figure out what to do. Oh, gosh. Thanks for letting me know about this, Mr. Willis. I'll get back to you. Now, at that moment, when we met, who had the problem? Who had the monkey? Mr. Willis had it. He was on his shoulders, firmly planted on his back when he jumped out of the cubicle. When we parted company, and I'm walking out towards the parking lot trying to escape that building for lunch, where did the monkey go? I exited with the monkey. I have the assignment. He asked me, "What do I do, boss?" And I said, "I'll get back to you. The next action is the monkey on my shoulder." What's Mr. Willis doing right now while I go out to the parking lot with nothing to do, with an assignment? What's he doing? Nothing. He's waiting for me. Because I've got the next move. I've got the monkey. I've got the assignment. I've got the burden. I've got to care and feed this thing. I've got to manage it. It's my monkey. My responsibility. He's back in his cubicle playing video games, waiting for that deadbeat boss to do something. Earn his pay. Oh, boss. So here I am, hapless manager. I'm walking out to the parking lot. I got this monkey firmly on my back. That's not where he belongs. Now, when you walk out of here today, you're going to recognize those monkeys as they make flying leaps from one shoulder to another, as they move from one person to another, either by the manager picking them up or allowing them to jump off the shoulders of his subordinates onto his back. You'll recognize a monkey who's got it. Now, one of the things that I want to make sure that Mr. Willis should have done is to never let that monkey jump on his manager's back, that he should always be in control of that monkey. Because if he's got the monkey, if he's got the assignment, he'll have control of the content and the timing of his work. He'll have control over what he does and when he doesn't. Because he's got the assignment. He's got the burden. He's got the monkey. He has control over that. If it's on my shoulders, I got the assignment. He is in control of nothing. Okay, we're going to talk about that in 3 seconds. We're going to spend about 20 minutes on each topic. The first one's going to be on the management equation. Now, this was developed by Bill Onken Jr., who was a physicist. And a physicist is going to come up with a couple of formulas for management. They're going to be frightfully complex, and I'm going to surprise you with these formulas. We're going to talk about vocational time versus management time. There was a handout on that you got when you came in. The second section is going to be on how management really works with the molecule of management. This will not be anything that you will read in a textbook. This is how management really works. I've got a great boss. Dr. John Min is the dean here of the business school at Northern Virginia Community College. He understands the real practice of management and how it works. He gets it. Most academics do not understand management. They don't pretend to. They're journalists, pundits, practice analysts, do not understand the real practice of management. We'll talk about how that works. And finally, what we're really concerned about is the freedom scale of who and how to get promoted. This is for both. This is not a secret only because nobody knows about it, but you're going to know about it either as a manager or as an individual contributor. The freedom scale. It's a very simple scale that managers and individual contributors can both use together to get promoted. Because I want to promote somebody and you want to be promoted if you're staffers. We're both going to get promoted. I want you to get promoted. going to tell you how to do that.